3, 2, 1.
Robotics
Assemble.
This looks flat too, but okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's try again.
We'll do it
Let's
one
try
more
again.
time.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Robotics
Robotics
Assemble. Okay.
Better.
Okay. All right.
Better.
So hey guys, we're here with Ramen Robotics from Big Picture. So let's do introductions first. So I'm Aryan, Control Systems Lead from Saints Robotics.
Yeah, and I'm going to be here, the other co-host that Aryan forgot to say. And I'm the president. And we're going to start with Xavier. Xavier, you want to introduce yourself a little bit? Name, grade,
Yes, I am Xavier, the president of Ramen Robotics. Reed?
Austin, do you want to go next?
Hi, I'm Reed Miller Smith. I'm business lead for Ramen Robotics.
Hi, I'm James. I'm a junior and I'm the safety captain for Ramen Robotics.
Hi, I'm Madison. I'm a sophomore and I'm the secretary for Ramen Robotics, as the media lead too.
All right, cool. So let's do some icebreakers first. Okay, what's your favorite candy? Mine is Mike and Ike.
I think I like Kit Kats for some reason.
I'm quite a fan of like the Lego bricks, like little sugar ones. I don't know.
I haven't had those
Lego
in
brick.
such a long time.
Lego bricks. Oh, that's cool.
Nah,
Never
he
heard
just
of
eats
Lego
Lego
bricks.
bricks. Just like regular old Lego bricks.
Great plastic Lego bricks. Great candy. Amazing for holidays. Madison, you go next.
I have never seen Lego bricks candy before. I really like high chews.
Oh, Haikus are nice. I like most candies, but if you put me in a room with a bag of Tootsie Rolls, you'll come out of the room with just me. Like, I will eat that whole thing in like seconds. I love Tootsie Rolls so much.
Yeah.
It's kind of a problem with braces too.
Yeah. I like Kit Kats are like airheads. The thing.
Cool.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I guess like to start off, how did the name Ramen Robotics come to place? Like, how was this decided?
For the name for Ramen Robotics, we kind of sat through a 2-hour-long call, like putting out names in the chat in the Microsoft Teams meeting, just like randomly throwing out names to decide what we wanted. And so there was around like 3 or 4 other people in that call along with me and Jason in it. And we were all just kind of like randomly thinking of names. So some of the original names that we came up with were like Electric Danger Doodles, Gummy Bear Gang. There's a lot of options. I think, so we kind of came up with the top 3 that we like the most. And we kind of put that in the general, where a lot of our team members got to vote on which one they wanted. And that was because we wanted to make sure that everyone got the chance to decide the team name, because as a team, we want everyone to feel included and to feel like they're a part of like the decision-making process. And so, yeah, we decided on Ramen Robotics because it was the most popular choice. And now we're Ramen Robotics. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you guys have the ramen like logo or?
Mm-hmm.
Solid.
Yeah, we have our logo for Ramen Robotics is pretty much a robot in a ramen bowl. It's pretty fun.
It's pretty creative. But yeah, so yeah, when you guys were going through all this decision making, like how did you guys sort of decide on mentors, right? Like workshop. How did you guys really become a team?
I'll answer that. For mentors, we automatically had one mentor, which was Jason. And so from then on, we had a couple teachers who were on board, especially Hillary, which is another one of our mentors, who her son, Dominic, was one of the members at Robototes the year before, and he was a senior.
Oh, right. Yeah, I know him. Yeah.
Yeah, so that really helped us out a lot because there were 2 mentors who already knew FRC and wanted to help us. And then for other mentors, we've had a lot of parents who are very involved like with the Big Picture community, which so it's kind of natural for them to also just join the robotics community when their kid also joined.
BP's pretty close knit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you
Oh. I was hoping to add on to that. Another thing is that because Big Picture is a smaller school, big like Ramen Robotics became such a big thing in such a short amount of time. So many students wanted to join it, and so that means also so many more mentors and teachers that wanted to contribute. And we had a lot of like teachers signing up as mentors and everything. And also because Big Picture is an internship based school where we have a lot of people who have experience in career fields that relate to robotics and can help us a lot. We have a lot of connections in those areas too.
Okay. That's like
Yeah.
you guys had a lot of support. That's amazing. I mean, with FRC teams, it's pretty hard to like get one off without that sort of adult support. And yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, so like, how was workshops and like trying to get all the materials and stuff for a starting FRC team?
Yeah. Okay, I can also go. Okay, so for the workshop, that was kind of a struggle because our school is very small, and we have 150 kids in our high school. So like it kind of goes to show like how small our school is, and then also how much space there would be. And so originally we were gonna use the boys' locker room, but even that was taken away from us. So I don't know. There was just not much space in our school, and right now we kind of have like a makeshift maker space that hasn't been used probably even before COVID, and it's a shared space where a couple other teachers are, so it's kind of like a mess. Hopefully we'll get more of it, but yeah,
So yeah, the makerspace.
Yeah.
Right. It's a. Can you guys hear me? Oh, you guys can. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
The makerspace is it's a portable. It's a portable outside of the thing, and it had some tools from a previous robotics team that I don't know what it was. I think it was FTC. I think it was an FTC team. Yeah. And so they had some stuff in there, right? But it was all buried under so much of the stuff, and so we as a team like cleared out the stuff, cleaned up some space, pulled out what tools they had. One of the parents was really generous, and they donated a bandsaw. Which is really nice of them. And so now we have a functioning drill press and a bandsaw. And so now in the makerspace for mech, we took a couple kids, because it's kind of a small space, only like 6 of us, and are teaching us how to do like simple metalworking and woodworking so we can teach others. And
Wow, so you guys like it's a portable, and do you guys share like is it sort of divided or between different sub teams? Wow.
No, so we have access to the library in our school, which isn't very big. It's like maybe 1-2 rooms if the divider isn't there. But we do that makerspace is usually just for mech. We had programming in there just because we didn't have a space for them a couple weeks ago, but usually that space is just for mech. And then the library is space for programming, CAD, and then marketing and finance.
Right. Okay, so I guess here, do you want to like talk about off season?
Yeah.
You were almost like you were there for almost all of them. So yeah.
Yeah. So I know that I heard that you guys were part of the drive team for Roach Generation. So how was the experience of like on like the drive team side of things and just attending your first off season and just driving off the top?
So being on the drive team, we got to collaborate with Bellevue High School, and they were really generous with allowing us to work with them and be on their drive team despite having such little experience beforehand, But it was really fun, actually. It was so, when you get into like the actual like robotics like game and everything, it's so chaotic when you're like driving the robot, and there's so many people like shouting at you to do different things, and then there's like it's so fast that you kind of don't know what's going on, but it's kind of like a controlled chaos, I guess, where you do understand what's happening and what you need to do during those like short periods of time during the game. I think it's also really fun just working with the drive team and like working with all these different people just trying to do their best and like I think it was really cool. Something I wasn't expecting was like seeing other people on your alliance working together with you to like make the best strategies in the game, and you kind of like talk with them about like who you have on your team, like what you can do and how you can contribute and everything. And it was really fun because you kind of just see how like connected everyone is in like the drive experience.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's a lot more of like cooperation for things
Mhm.
kind of. I also know that you guys attended some other off seasons as well. So how's your experience as like the spectators of off seasons?
So we went to the Bordy React. I remember that one. That one was like seeing like it basically what was a robotics event. Seeing all those robots from last year just like outperforming, I thought that was really interesting. I definitely was captivated for a while about those
Yeah.
those robots, especially the ones that got to climb so fast.
Yeah.
Like the Jack in the Box robot that had the pneumatic arms that shot up. That was
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, my first competition was PNW, and that was at, I think, Henry Jackson school. That's where Jack and the Bot
Yeah.
is from. And so yeah, I also had like a similar experience. I was like, the first time I saw their team or like saw all these bots, it was crazy. It was
Yeah.
um
Oh,
but yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
okay, so I guess like with being a new team, since you guys got that experience looking at off-season comps, and um w- what are you guys like, how are you guys trying to get new members to sort of learn about FRC, right? How are you getting um them to learn about robotics, right? Mechanical knowledge, etc.
Um, from my perspective, we've been using a lot of like wide areas. We found a FRC safety portal thing, and so we had like these short informational slide decks essentially to take a quiz on, and then FRC was like, "Yep, you can work these things." We did them. We didn't find it to be super helpful, but it was nice to like get the knowledge from them.
Mhm.
We've been teaching a few kids, admittedly, because our makerspace is really small, how to work with different tools and stuff. And I have created like a checklist of like what kids are able to use what tools. And so we got a couple of kids that are already checked off and everything, not just including me and the engineering lead who's not with us right now. But you go.
Oh yeah. So I guess for trainings for like finance, I think that was something that was new to us, especially because for like engineering, like they could have already done they could have already used the drill press or used the bandsaw for like their own projects. But like filling out grants was something that none of us did before. And so that was an interesting process, especially because I guess I don't know, it was just a very long process, and it was also like, even though the grants are kind of like, I don't know, because they're here to help us,
Yeah.
but it also feels like we have to put a lot of effort into them as well.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
read.
What was your experience like writing grants? Because I know that's a process within itself.
Yeah, well, we've applied for basically every grant we can so far. We recently got the NASA grant, which we're excited about. And
Yeah.
grants they're a lot of work to apply for them. I mean, I'm sure you guys are aware of this. Like, it's especially trying to get everyone on your team to fill out information about them, which is
Yeah.
it's not been a very enjoyable experience. But yeah.
Like in our team, we were trying to get like people to do the NASA grant survey, which is like you have to do that after, right? Mihir, correct me if I'm wrong, but like after they give you a
Yeah.
grant. But yeah, grants are like definitely
yeah.
like a lot of work, but like I'm pretty grateful for them existing, because like a lot of FRC teams just depend on these grants to sort of like, this year, like
Survive.
for control systems, right? Like my sub team, like our budget was like the highest it's ever been, and without like our business sub team sort of trying to figure out how to get that money, we wouldn't be able to sort of achieve our goals and stuff. So yeah, that it can be really tough navigating all of that, especially as a rookie team. So like, Or
yeah.
what are you guys like hoping to do this year? Like any other challenges that you predict, like for like competition season?
Well, for one, at least for me personally, I'd like to see if we can get to Houston use it for the rookie award. But I mean, I hope so, but we'll see.
I mean, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I think at the beginning of the year we set our goal is to get to district finals.
Yeah.
That's like if we can get there to district finals in our first year, I think that's a W.
Yeah.
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 So that's like our overarching goal. But yeah.
Yeah. I think like some like upcoming like goals and challenges are the kickoff, of course. And so
Yeah.
for us, I mean, I think most teams would probably feel underprepared as well, but especially because we're a rookie team, it's like even though there's been mock kickoffs that have been hosted by BA, it's been very nice. But I think others also feel in our team that we're still like a little bit underprepared, and like we'll just have to like we'll be pushed into the deep end the moment build season starts. And so I guess I hope that like our kickoff and like the first 2 weeks of designing and prototyping, we don't just
Cry.
we have a product, like some sort of product. I hope that's what
Yeah.
The problem is we'll have 2 people right now that know how to CAD in the way we need to know them how to CAD.
We have three.
Three. Sorry, no. We have 3 whole people that know how to CAD. Everyone else has been learning from those people, but it's been around, especially because Onshape is it's one of the programs of all time. Most certainly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially with like kickoff so close, like about like 17 or 16 days left. What's sort of your mindset going into kickoff? You guys, I know you mentioned you guys don't feel prepared, but sort of, how are you guys feeling about kickoff?
I think that our team will be very excited, especially because we haven't like we were more training, of course, because it was training season. Yeah. So I think having that like tangible event and like it'll be basically the transition period into build season. So I think that would create something more real, and yeah, it's got a lot of the team excited.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it's got all excited. We have a super dedicated team though. Like a lot, we have so many people in our team because like a large percentage of our, a lot of people at VP are really into STEM, which helps.
Yeah.
But we have such a high amount of dedication around the field or around the phrase, like just in the team itself, that I think that this build season is gonna be pretty cool. With the caveat that we are all very unexperienced, but we're dedicated. We got that going for us.
Yeah,
dedicated.
That's enough. Yeah.
Perseverance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
as long as you can put in the effort too.
Yeah, like this could definitely be a great learning experience, but also like if you guys, your dedication will take you like a long way, I think, because there are a lot of teams that are also trying to figure this out, like especially after the pandemic. There's like a lot of people right now in the same position. I would say like kickoff often puts every team into sort of that area where they're like it's chaotic, but also everyone's trying to figure out how to solve stuff. Yeah, like, so you said you wanted like district finals as sort of your goal. Do you see any like other challenges like with that, like mechanical side or sort of business side?
I think one of our main challenges is the fact that we're not going to be using every bot.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that we're going to be trying to do a lot of our stuff on our own, which creates its own problems. But I guess one of the things that we're going by is we'd rather have a poor robot that we created than a good robot that someone else like basically created and then we're assembling a Lego set.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I think especially for us for this year, like last year, a lot of members were new because the pandemic, like sort of all the seniors left during the pandemic, and last year we had some seniors, but everyone else, we were all just learning too. So I remember like kickoff happened and we were still trying to brainstorm, and it was an experience because it was like now we can look back and say, oh, these were the good things that we did. These were the bad things that we did. And now we have that sort of 1 year experience with a lot of members. All the juniors on our team are sort of like, they have experience from last year. But yeah, do you guys like, how have you guys been testing bots so far? Have you guys made any, like drivetrains, like?
No.
James?
But we have been testing around with some metal, mostly wood. We haven't really gotten much. Oh, I cat. We haven't really gotten much work done with actual robots. Although we got some drive bases that were donated to us, which is kind of them. But we don't have very much experience working with robots. We're a rookie team, right? But we've also had limited space, real quick. That we've had a difficult time involving everyone. So yeah, anyways, about it.
Right now we're currently working on building a battery cart, which is cool. So we're doing that over the break, which is going to be fun. We're going to have like a bunch of other team members who want to help build it, go over to Big Picture and work with like the engineering leads to build the battery cart, which is very fun team building activity too.
Yeah, I think we made one last year, a new one. It was good, cause like I'm pretty like picky with some batteries and stuff, and I think our battery cart's pretty good. Like I like it's cool, and I feel like it's a good project too. Like it's a good thing for recruits and stuff to work on. But yeah, I guess like something I could say is like you guys definitely like dedication wise is like enough, because like you don't have to make like on your first year like a swerve bot. Yeah, like that would be amazing, but definitely like a tank drive is enough, right? Like so, but yeah, do you guys have like anything else you want to talk about? Yeah, me here, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I mean, like one of the things that like Aryan mentioned was like leadership and like getting into it, and I know all of you guys are new into FRC. So how's that experience been for you as like a member of leadership, just trying to figure out FRC for yourself, but also being the one responsible for teaching your other members about FRC?
If I may jump in, it's been interesting. The job of the safety safety captain isn't very well nailed down, especially during training season, where it's like I just am another engineering lead basically. Like I definitely give like talks and teach people about safety a lot. But a lot of it, because I'm also a rookie in that matter, has been learning from other people how to be safe in a workshop. Even though I've been in a workshop my whole life because of my dad is a word worker, right? But that isn't metalworking. And so it's been interesting. I've definitely been learning a lot.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, you're just like constantly trying to stay like one step ahead of like the general group member. And so for like things we've had to learn, it was like for the engineering lead, who is my brother, he had to like basically learn CAD, and then he would almost teach it the next day. And that would it wouldn't necessarily go for programming, because right now in programming, we were just like learning basics of Java, which you don't necessarily need to which we already knew before. But yeah, it's kind of because we didn't know anything. It was also like when we learned that we could have been teaching it more efficiently, it was kind of not disappointing, but it was just kind of sad that we weren't like teaching the most efficiently because of the fact that we didn't know something else either.
Oh yeah, for sure. And what about
I guess
the
it's
medium
just
business?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Here, can you repeat?
Oh, what about from like the media and business side of things as well? How's that learning curve been for you?
For the media side of things, I think something that's difficult for us is kind of having something to do at this point. What we struggled a lot with is kind of just coming up with specific goals that media team should be doing. Right now, we're actually working on merch designs for sweaters for the team to kind of boost morale and everything. So once those are complete, you guys will see them. They're pretty nice though. Yeah.
100% hit me up.
Yes. I think for media also, it's a bit difficult because a lot of media experience is built off of having years of experience at FRC, like to
Yeah.
be able to do things. But because we're a rookie team, we have no experience with what the actual competition will look like and how we're going to promote that to our team and everything. So it's been really helpful having the like training competitions in like Bordy and Girls Gen to kind of experience and like know what everything looks like and how like media team works in that to prepare for the future.
Oh yeah, for sure. And what about from like the business side of things? How's that learning curve been for you?
I think for business, it's certainly been steep because especially like when we're reaching out to local businesses for sponsors for sponsorship money, like they'll ask questions about robotics, and since I'm largely new to robotics at FRC, I don't have a ton of the answers, and so yeah, and especially since we're a new team, like unlike Sanks Robotics, like we don't have a footprint to be able to show businesses like, hey, look at this robot we built last year or 2 years ago. Like we're entirely new, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. And just like the learning curve from like a new member to business is a lot, and I can't imagine from like a new team to business.
I mean, something is like, especially getting sponsors and stuff for that, I would say it's definitely there are definitely a lot of people in our society who want to support, but I get it, right? It can be like tough as a new team to get that support because I would really like advise like when it comes to projects and stuff, just sort of maybe hosting what you already know, right? Like if you already know Java or something, right? Like try to teach people in your community about that and stuff. And just a lot of businesses, what they're looking for is like, is this team like gonna use this money properly? Like, is it worth it and stuff? So yeah, I feel like your dedication itself speaks so much about what you guys will do, right? And I feel like a lot of people will look at that and support you. So yeah, like I feel like this season will be good for you guys. There's definitely like you guys are an amazing leadership. Like I'll be honest with you,
for sure.
right? When I first joined as leadership, I was like I had no idea what I was doing, and then I also had to like navigate through things, right? Watch YouTube videos and stuff, and then I was like, oh wow, it's like it's been 4 months, and somehow I magically know what I'm doing. But yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Before we close out, I have one kind of final question for you guys. So I know this is your first year, but do you have any advice for like any rookie teams next year to sort of getting started, what they should do, like a couple things that you've learned about this season?
Yeah, I think one of the main things is just there are a lot of resources online. Like even as a team in Bellevue, like the Bellevue Lions, we've been provided many resources, but like there might not be the same resources for another rookie team in a different area. But there are still so many resources online that other FRC teams have provided, and those are like just as helpful, and they're just everywhere as well.
Yeah,
I would also recommend doing every single like event, going to every single event you can, like B&W, Bordy React, Girls Gen, Mock Kickoff at BA. Like, get as much time as you can. I didn't do this actually. I only started going to events like seriously after like past like October, which actually I regret.
Yeah.
But definitely, if you for newer teams, if you don't know what you're doing, which we don't even know what we're doing, go to every single one of those events. Try and talk to people, learn from the people who are already in it. They will be helpful. It's robotics. Like I have not met someone in robotics who hasn't been the nicest person I've ever met. Like that's just the truth.
Yeah, FRC is like an amazing community. So like I guess like rookie teams, right? They're welcomed, right? And I definitely wish you guys like a lot of luck for this year. And I don't think you guys will need luck. I mean, you guys are really dedicated. Hopefully this season goes well for everyone, right? Like it's definitely one of the seasons that's not as like we're 1 year away from the pandemic. We're all back, right? Some of us are still healing, but I guess I personally think the season's going to be a learning experience for all of us, but also we're all going to have fun. I think that's the most important thing, right? Doing robotics and having fun, amazing. Yeah. So yeah,
going to Houston.
For sure. See y'all at Houston.
See y'all at Houston.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks so much for coming today. It means a lot, and you guys are definitely an inspiration for other rookie teams, right? So keep doing what you guys are doing, and yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for coming on.
you.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
It was great.